For the past few months, I've been developing an Olympics-inspired game, and so far the game has the 100 meters, the 200 meters, the 400 meters, the long jump, and the javelin game event. But in this devlog, I'm going to be making a big change to the game as well as some little changes. So let's get to it. So the oldest game event has been like this for a while now, and initially I made it this way just to work out the jumping system for the player. And since I've been able to work on that, the next step is to actually make it look like a proper 110 hurdles game event. So in the Olympics, the 110 meter hurdles event has 10 hurdles that each athlete has to jump over. And currently my hurdles event has only 3 hurdles for each player, which is not even close to the number of the Olympics events. And also the hurdles in the Olympics looks nothing like my hurdles, so I started off by modeling a new hurdle in Blender and quickly imported that into Unity, and it still doesn't look exactly like the one in the Olympics, but for now this is what I'm using. Then I made the hurdles physics object so they can fall whenever the players can't execute perfect jump, and since the players can't execute perfect jumps right now, I adjusted the jump distance of the player and it looks much better now. Then I had this crazy idea to try and make a 400 meter hurdles event since it's one of the most hardest Olympics events, and I wanted to see how it would play out in the game, and this is what I started working on next. I started off by setting up the track, and it was a bit time consuming because I had to place each hurdles on the track, and I also had to make sure that it had the correct rotation. Anyways, I finally placed them into the track. Then I set up the player and the opponent's AI and discovered that it's going to be hard to play because the player has to run fast and also try to jump through the hurdles that are in the curved area. And this is a problem because I gave full control to the player, which means you are in charge of where the player is moving towards, and I did that because I thought that would make the game more challenging. But this game event made me realize that it made the game less played. So to solve the problem, I decided to make the player's control similar to that of the AIs, who are basically just following a path. So I quickly created a path for the player and made some changes to the code, and the player now follows a path even when the mouse is rotating around. And right after I made that change, a very good friend of mine suggested that I tried another camera angle, and to be honest, many people have actually advised me to try other camera angles for this game. So I finally decided to take their advice and I tried a third-person camera angle, and on the first try it looked like this, which isn't bad actually, and made the game feel more intense because you can see the other players. And for now I decided to continue with the new camera angle. Also, making this change meant I had to redo most of the gameplay stuff because first person camera angle is different from third person camera angle, and I initially used the first person camera angle because for me it requires less work than the third person. But anyways, I started redoing the 100 meters, and after working a bit on it, I have something that looked like this. Then I moved on to the javelin game event, which does not look good at all, but to my defense it looked a bit better in the first person camera angle. Anyways, to make it look good, I'm supposed to make an animation, but since I don't know how to animate yet, I used animation rigging in Unity to make it look like it's holding the javelin, and it still needs a little bit more work, but for now this is how it is. Then I moved on to making the javelin throw look a bit better because initially the throw was very disappointing. So to do that, I added slow motion and I also zoomed in on the player to give like a game feel to the throw, and then I also adjusted my animation, and that's how I made it look much more better. Lastly, I worked on the javelin movement after it has been released, and that's all I've done on the javelin game event for now. And hopefully in the next devlog I would have worked more on it and I'll be able to show you that. After working on the javelin event, I moved back to work on the hurdles mode again to accommodate the new camera angle, and all I did was just adjusting the animation and also made some changes to the movement of the athlete. So for now, these are all the changes that I've made to the game since the last video, and I hope you enjoyed watching this devlog, and if you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next devlog, and also give this video a like, and I will see you in the next devlog.